Hello everyone, welcome to my channel B&B CBS Gossip 24. Deacon wants to continue seeing Taylor when Steffy confronts Sheila. Brooke and Ridge discuss how fortunate they are at Forrester, but he acknowledges that he is still worried about Taylor. Brooke is aware of this. She reassures him that his former partner is a powerful woman. They are curious as to whether she will find another man. Bill, Katie, Sheila, Deacon B&B mashup. The daring and stunning secret that would ruin Sheila and Deacon's reunion is about to come to light. Deacon knocks on Taylor's office door at that precise moment. She asks him how things are doing with Sheila and invites him inside. They discuss visiting Sheila to express their gratitude. Deacon is also appreciative. He tells Tay that she has been his lifeline and that he doesn't want to lose her. Deacon, Taylor, B&B. Deacon is still sitting there wanting to see Taylor as a patient. He thinks he can assist her, and she can help him grow. More, Remy's dark tone might be fatal. What will Sheila share with Steffy? Steffy unexpectedly visits Sheila at Illinois Giardino. She can never comprehend how she managed to keep Luna a secret from everyone. Sheila reassures her that because Luna is incarcerated, she can continue enjoying her life. Steffy finds out that she cheated on Deacon and nearly lost her marriage, but Taylor persuaded him to give her another shot. Sheila, Steffy, B&B. As she performs her "I'm a changed woman" shtick, Steffy rolls her eyes and notes that it didn't last. Sheila informs her that her mother assisted Deacon in resolving his feelings around the betrayal. "I will always be indebted to Taylor for saving my marriage to my husband." When Steffy returns to the office, Brooke tells Ridge that she respects his worry about Taylor. Despite acknowledging that he will always care about her, his daughter jabs at him for abandoning her mother once more. Brooke is adamant that she does. Taylor is grinning at Deacon in her office while Ridge tries to ask Steffy what her mother is up to. Sharp becomes serious and says he understands how going through the Brooke and Ridge drama over the years must have affected her. They are both Brooke's roadkill, according to Taylor. Deacon assures her of his support. She tells him she's okay, but he wonders if she's genuinely content. Taylor, B&B. The last scenes. Ridge is chastised by Steffy for making and then violating promises to her mother. She is aware that it was due to his near loss of Logan. Although she doesn't like it, she and her mother both understood what brought him back to the blonde. According to Steffy, her mother has evolved. Brooke questions whether she is seeing someone else. Steffy promises her mother will find someone to make her happy because she knows she would want that. Steffy, Brooke, B&B. Deacon questions whether Taylor has really admitted to herself the toll that the back and forth with Ridge has taken on her as she tries to turn the subject back to the patient in her office. Her children depend on her for fulfillment, which their father would never provide. Ridge isn't the guy for you. In an emotional speech, Deacon holds her hand in his and tells her that no one deserves to be loved, respected, adored, or valued more than she is. He also begs her to put Ridge firmly in the past. Remy is advised to seek therapy by Deke. Sheila was prohibited from attending the wedding by Beth. Steffy is admiring Deke's ideas in the Forrester office before she and her father go for the showcase. Steffy, Ridge appreciates designs. Daphne and Hope are working with models. Steffy finds Deke's designs impressive. His choice in clothing is superior to his taste in guys. HFTF models are Steffy, Ridge. After discussing adorned braces, they dismiss the model. Adorned braces. Hope is congratulated on her engagement by Steffy. Daphne also thinks it's fantastic. Hope is pleased with it. This time, it feels different. Designs are superior to taste in guys, according to Steffy. They discuss all of the family's wonders. Beth in particular. The greatest present of all was getting her back. For each of them, getting Liam back is the second best option. Hope is told by Steffy how amazing it is that her engagement resulted from this experience. Steffy says it's amazing. Daphne is struck by how serene everything seems. Seeing how well they get along is encouraging. Ridge hopes it continues. They cannot forget that they are one large family, according to Steffy. Daphne's ability to get along with everyone impressed. Deke tells Remy in the design office that he doesn't want to betray him. Remy affirms that he remains the man he loves. Remy maintains that he has changed. When he shared deepfake naked photos of adorable tiny Electra, Deke was shocked. Remy reiterates that he felt perplexed and lost. He is morally upright, yet Electra was his only friend. Fearing that she might betray him, he refrained from coming out to her. Remy is aware that he was self-centered and muddled, but everyone makes regrettable internet decisions. According to Deacon, this was not a sarcastic remark. Deacon is shocked by what Remy did. Remy implores him to keep their relationship intact. Deacon claims that it was very important to keep this hidden from him since they stand on different sides of the room. Remy tears that he lost his way and that Deacon is the reason he can now envision a true future for himself. Remy claims that he has changed. Deacon certainly has some troubles, yet he cares about him. According to Remy, the demons have vanished. Deacon clarifies that demons cannot be buried and that he requires expert assistance. He wishes for their well-being. Remy offers to seek professional assistance and expresses regret for concealing information from him. He is not going to give up on them. Deacon will receive therapy, Remy said. Deacon says he wants some room, furrowing his brows. Remy is aware of this, but he still needs to comprehend how he has affected him. He is committed to regaining Deacon's trust because he was his first love. Remy needs space, Deacon says. Associated links. Receive alerts for new posts on soap spoilers. List of daytime Emmy winners. Get the newsletter from Soap Spoilers. Keep an eye out for B&B spoilers during November. The first time Steffy returned to B&B. Recaps of Beyond the Gates. Will and Electra tell his father about Remy and Deacon at Bill's. Bill offers to clarify that he doesn't believe Remy has changed. Bill claims it's nonsense. At last, Electra felt as though she was moving on, and then Remy showed up. Katie advises her not to consider this. Unfortunately, it took place during the lunar madness. Liam and Katie supporting Electra. She assures her that they would take care of the infant and that she just needs to concentrate on Wood and their promising future. Electra expresses gratitude to everyone for their attention and support. They swear not to let Remy and Luna to harm her once more. Congratulations, Electra will Katie Liam Bill. Electra is adamant about looking to the future. They choose to commemorate Liam's efforts to reunite his family. Bill is incredibly proud. Liam is also pleased with himself. He was struggling, but now he feels safe. Bill declares that Beth will serve as the officiant. Liam is aware that he was struggling. Everyone is in awe. No one is more committed to it than Beth, according to Liam, and they wouldn't be the same family without her. Will Electra explain Remy to the Bill? Liam talks endlessly about his newfound viewpoint. They inform Electra that she is now a member of the Spencer team. Liam continues, I spoke with Wyatt, and he might return for the ceremony. Liam has come to the conclusion that while money is good, family is the most valuable thing. Bill grabs Katie's hand. Everyone is grinning. What remains in the dark? Steffi stood looking out at the sea from the cliff house's glass doors. Today's waves were rough. They didn't merely move, they crashed. She sensed it. The change. The disruption. Not imagined. Not sentimental. Instinctive. The phone began to buzz. Just one text. Unidentified number. Walking alone should be done with caution. Steffi's breathing stopped, not out of fear but out of rage. Because she was certain of its identity. Without hesitation, she picked up her keys and pocketbook, didn't wait for Finn, and didn't call security. If Sheila desired to hide in the shadows, she would be pulled into the sun by Steffi. She discovered her hidden behind Illinois Giardino, the site of too many secrets. The sound of footsteps caused Sheila to turn. Her smile seemed too serene. You received my message, then. Steffi didn't waste any words. That posed a risk. No, Sheila muttered. It served as a warning. Once more, you're making things challenging for Finn. The gradual, perilous way a storm generates heat caused Steffi's mouth to lock. Avoid coming near my hubby. Keep your distance from my kids. Remain. Away. Sheila remained unflinching. She stepped closer and continued, You think you're stronger than this connection. You believe that love simply vanishes when you tell it to. Finn and I. Steffi interrupted her. Are nothing. Sheila gave a blink. Steffi moved forward, her voice deadly but calm, her eyes blazing. He is a male. You are traumatized. Don't mix up the two. Sheila's features briefly flickered with what appeared to be anguish. It changed to something colder after that. Sheila whispered, You can keep pushing. However, you will lose him. That's what fear does to people. With a voice almost audible above her breath, Steffi leaned in, sounding like a lioness debating whether to bite. Let me clarify something. I might not be able to get rid of you. However, I am able to restrain you. You can be isolated by me. I can shrink your universe to the point that nobody even knows you exist. Sheila's face wavered just once. As Steffi did not make any threats of violence. Irrelevance was what she was threatening. Sheila was more afraid about that. Steffi took a step back. This is our last stop. She turned to go. Sheila failed to follow. However, there was something terrible burning in her eyes. Not anger. Decide. Sunlight filled Taylor's office, making it peaceful, secure, and steady. Seated across from her, Deacon had stiff shoulders and restless hands. He remarked, I didn't come here to talk about Sheila. Taylor waited patiently, in the stillness of a therapist. I came because you're on my mind all the time. Taylor froze, just a little. Deacon. No. I'll say it. His voice was genuine, low, and raw. Before everything broke apart, you were the only thing that was good in my life. When I was trying, you noticed me. When I was feeling better. Taylor's guarded gaze relaxed. Deacon, we bonded at a vulnerable moment. However, that does not imply. He remarked, it meant something to me. Quiet. Heavy. Cozy. Incomplete. Taylor let out a breath. Gentle. Sad. Sincere. Once, you were beneficial to me. I was also beneficial to you. However, we didn't make each other better. We diverted one another. Deacon felt his chest constrict. He stated, I'm not asking to go back. Just don't close the door. Taylor took a close look at him and saw every crack in him. I'm not closing it, she murmured softly. However, I'm going to close it. For now. Deacon nodded, understanding but in pain. It wasn't a rejection. Rather than being reopened, this wound was being addressed. Just as Deacon left Taylor's arm's-length farewell, Steffi entered Illinois Giardino's dining room. They caught sight of one another. In the silence, their lives, both distorted by Sheila, lingered between them. How awful? Deacon asked quietly. At first, Steffi did not respond. Next. She's regaining her boldness. Tired, discouraged, and still too devoted to the wrong ghost, Deacon closed his eyes. I'll speak with her. Steffi's jaw clenched as her protective instinct became more acute. No. You'll let her be. Deacon froze. If you want your life back, Steffi replied in a firm yet ruthless tone. You quit picking her. Deacon changed in some way. Suffering. Fear. Recall. And something is shattering. He muttered, I'm not sure if I can. Steffi remained still. That's precisely why she poses a threat. Sheila watched Steffi drive off back in the alley. Her face was unreadable. However, she grinned as Deacon emerged via the back door. Tiny. Take your time. Possessive. What was said by Taylor? She inquired. The response was Deacon's quiet. Sheila moved in closer, putting her hand on his chest in a familiar, intrusive, and assertive manner. She said, you and I don't end. Not a danger. An idea. Deacon swallowed, trapped, hurt, and dependent on the very thing that had devastated him. Steffi was correct. It wouldn't break cleanly. This was going to catch fire. He entered with the enthusiasm of someone anticipating his wife's dependable, comforting presence. However, Steffi was not upstairs, in the kitchen, or even in the living room. At last, he discovered her outside, standing at the deck's edge and gazing out at the sea. Her arms were casually folded in front of her, and her stance was straight, but Finn could see the stress in her shoulders right away. He moved gently towards them. Hey, he murmured. She acknowledged him with a small movement of her head. Hey. Finn stepped over to stand next to her and watched the waves smash against the rocks. Are you all right? He inquired. Steffi took a slow, steady breath. Today, I saw her. Finn ceased breathing. His voice became hardly audible. Sheila? Steffi gave one nod. Finn didn't close his eyes out of fear of Sheila. But because he was worried about Steffi's reaction to this. Did she? No, Steffi softly cut in. I wasn't threatened by her. Not directly. She doesn't have to say the words, though. It's sufficient to simply show up. Finn let out a breath, his heart twisted with shame and pain. Steffi, you ought to have given me a call. She remained still. I am aware. Her hair was lifted by the breeze, and Finn could now see it. The tiredness that underlies her power. The determination concealed the dread. The woman who was too old to be fighting this struggle. He moved in closer and grabbed her hand. However, Steffi rejected it. Not saying no. Simply said, not prepared. Act 2. The truth is revealed. Finn spoke softly, seeming more hurt than angry. I didn't know you were going to see her. Steffi clenched her jaw. I didn't want you to try to stop me. Finn gave a blink. Since she was correct. And because it still stung. Steph, I don't want Sheila around you, he whispered. Or the children. However, you don't have to do this by yourself. At last, Steffi gave him a serious look. There was no anger in her eyes. They feared losing him. Finn, I feel like I lose a piece of us every time Sheila returns and forces her way into our lives. Finn felt his chest constrict. Steffi. Steffi went on, her voice shaking but steady. I had to face her. I had to make sure she was aware of my identity. Who we are. Finn took a deep swallow. Why didn't you inform me? Steffi paused. Because I didn't want you to stare at me like you do now. Finn gasped for air. She intended to say. With pain. From a distance. Felt deceived. He moved closer once more, this time more cautiously and slowly. Finn muttered, I'm not upset with you. I'm afraid. Steffi winced. So she was also afraid. Act 3. The fracture starts. Finn's voice was rough and cracked. You believe that I'm weak in her presence. Because that was the reality she had been avoiding, Steffi's face stiffened a little. Finn. Finn said, no, just say it, without being rude or arrogant. You believe I am incapable of managing her. Steffi's breath trembled. I believe she has the ability to enter your mind. Finn averted his gaze. He knew she was correct, thus the pain was genuine. Steffi said, I love you. You are aware of that. Sheila, however, is your wound. She is everything you were denied when you were younger. She makes use of that. She needs to feel important to someone, not because she loves you. Finn swallowed, his throat scorching. So what, Steffi? He muttered. Do you think I'd want to feel anything for her? Do you believe that I want things to be difficult? I detest her. I detest her actions. She is still my mother, though. Steffi shut her eyes. It was there. He never spoke the truth out loud. The one he was unable to let go of. Sheila would never really go away because of this. Finn's voice trailed off, almost like a confession. I can't erase her, but I didn't choose her. Steffi let out a trembling breath. I am unable to live in her shadow. The distance between them was more agonizing than a battle could be as they stood there without making contact. Act 4. The painful decision. This time, Finn extended his hand more slowly, and Steffi allowed him to cover hers. However, there remained a gap between their bodies. Not tangible. Sentimental. Steffi's voice trembled as she gazed out at the water. Assure me you won't run into her again. Finn froze. Since he was unable to guarantee that. Not in all honesty. Not entirely. He desired to. He wished he could. However, being able does not equate to desiring. Steffi saw that he was silent. The knife was that. She didn't retreat. She simply folded inward. Gently. Silently. It was as if something had broken inside of her once more. Finn moved in closer, his voice unfiltered. I'm not picking her. You are my choice. You will always be my first choice. Steffi finally started crying as she glanced up. So don't let her be the cause of our breakup. Finn's heart was pounding, heavy, and frightened. I refuse to. He spoke it like a vow this time. Not a response. Not a guarantee. A choice. At last, Steffi allowed herself to lean just enough into him. Slowly, protectively, fearful of losing her, he wrapped his arms around her. They clutched one another, yet there was still a problem. Not affection. Love was powerful. Fear lingered between them. The eyes watching in the final shot. Sheila sat behind the wheel of a parked vehicle across the street, her demeanor opaque and still. She observed them clinging to one another. Not grinning. Not upset. Just be patient. Sheila Carter didn't have to push her way in. All she had to do was wait for the cracks. And Finn and Steffi? They had just produced one.